First. And deep to receive is Chris Johnson Jr. Redshirt sophomore who transferred from Miami. The kick is over his head through the back of the end zone off the leg of Oslo Rigby. And that means the Mustangs are going to start 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And Matthew Hibner takes the field, and he's Adazio's dude tonight.
You gotta love it. You got a tight end here who's a physical guy, who's a blocker, but he's also a receiver and a pass catcher, and he's dynamic and he's tough.
And already we start to see a big formation, receivers to both sides. Jordan Hudson is in a package at the top of the screen, 2 guys at the bottom. Derek McFall is the running back. And that's R.J. Maryland who returns to the SMU lineup. And this is Jordan Hudson. And he'll pick up 7, almost 8 on first down, and we welcome Dana Boyd.
Well, another dude, Wes and Steve, is a man by the name of Kevins Jennings. And they say a quarterback is only as good as his last game. But for Rhett Lashley and the entirety of the SMU football program, they know that when it comes to Kevins Jennings, that can't be true. Those 3 interceptions that Jennings threw in that Penn State game, his first college football playoff appearance, left him haunted for the entirety of the offseason. He got to work. He got in the film room. He worked on his pocket presence. He worked on staying on schedule. All attributes that require you to be a polished quarterback, Steve.
Well, he sure is a polished quarterback, and he's going to be the heartbeat of this team tonight. Looking for a big night from Kevin.
Here is a deep shot downfield, and in stride, Romello Brinson. Touchdown, SMU. My goodness. 63 yards. There's a marker down for the somersault into the end zone by Brinson. And the big play offensive attack of SMU strikes early.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense, number 3. It's a 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. That's his first foul toward disqualification.
And Rhett Lashley's saying, don't do it again.
That's exactly right. You know, those are things that are selfish to your team, and those are no talent issues, and you can't have it.
So 53 seconds into a brand new season, SMU is on the board. And the point from Colin Rogers is perfect, and it did not take Lashley's team long, Coach.
It sure didn't. They were able to throw the ball down the field. They're in one high coverage, and the safety's got the middle of the field, and he's going to beat the corner down here, get on top of him. He has no cushion, and a great throw and a great catch, and you're seeing an acceleration to the end zone. What a way to start the night right now. You're telling that coverage, hey, you better back up because we're going to come after you downtown.
Last year, SMU had 22 scoring drives in less than 2 minutes. Their first one of 2025 is in less than 2 minutes. My goodness. Romello Brinson, who only played in 4 regular season games. You may remember he caught 5 balls against Clemson in the ACC championship game. And that was when he kind of returned to health. He had 20 career games at Miami. So now the kick from the 20-yard line, and that is Sam Keltner who is kicking it away. And this is going to be returned out to the 35 by Devin Matthews, and the Mustangs will get him down toward the 37 or 38-yard line. And on the first play of the game, here's Jordan Hudson, who has become quite a leader on and off the field through the month of August for SMU, and he was shaken up on the first play, and he has come to the sideline. We'll try and get your report there, but that doesn't look good, and unfortunate for a guy the coaches couldn't say enough about yesterday in our meetings. Oh, and he's leaving the field. Goodness.
You hate to see that, but hopefully it's a little stinger and he'll be able to get back.
So East Texas A&M starts at the 37-yard line, and Will McDonough is going to be the starting quarterback here for the Lions. He is a senior from Lakewood, California, who played in 7 ball games last year. Ron Peace, who many expected to be the starter, at least from the things we were hearing out of Commerce during the August camp, is not going to play tonight. We did not see Peace even attempt a pass we could not find him dressed out in warm-up. So it'll be either Will Madonna or Eric Rodriguez tonight for East Texas A&M. So Madonna, who in 7 games last year, a highlight was 178 yards and a couple of scores against Prairie View. And in motion from the near side, that's Odidi, and they're going to hand the ball straight ahead, and this is E.J. Oatman, a 200-pound sophomore on a 5'8" frame from Pflugerville, Texas, who played in just 3 ball games a season ago. Pickup of a couple against the Mustangs. And there is Clint Dalzell, 21st head coach in Lions history, now in his 3rd year.
They're going to come off the boundary here with a weak safety spin down blitz, and they're going to hit him right in the backfield. A lot of penetration.
2nd down for Madonna. He wants to throw for the first time tonight. Does to the far side. Christian Jourdain, who was 2nd team all Southland Conference a year ago, is close to a 1st down. Out near the 47-yard line. Tackle was made by Deuce Harmon. Of course, he had 9 starts a year ago for these Mustangs.
So play 1, they came with a weak free safety blitz, and on play 2, they brought the pressure from the field. So they're gonna try to bring 5 people right now and get after the quarterback here.
Scott Simons, of course, the defensive coordinator for the Mustangs. A year ago, East Texas was 37% on 3rd down. Flagged down as the handoff goes to Oakland. And he was hit right at the line, if not behind the line.
False start. Offense number 56. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
That's on Chandler Donaway, the left guard, starting tonight for Dalzell's Lions, who only played in 4 ball games a season ago. That's where some of the rebuilding is going on in Commerce.
Young guys playing up front, a big game, big crowd. I saw he got a little antsy, and he jerked in his stance before the snap. Those are the things that can affect East Texas tonight.
So 3rd down and a half dozen. Madonna to throw. Left side, ball is caught. Jourdain right at the 1st down stick against Deuce Harmon for the 1st down.
He does a nice job of coming out of his top end of that route and snapping back, coming back to the ball. Created separation by pushing that DB back vertically.
So Jourdain, the big wide receiver, and had an early movement there. It looked like that Keviante Spears might have leaned in.
He did. He did. Now the question is, did he get back before, or are they going to call it encroachment? I don't know that.
Offside. Defense number 40. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
Yeah, I mean, we talked to Rhett in the meetings, and he talked about penalties last year. You know, one of the most penalized teams in the country. And his goal was to try to, you know, he wants them to play aggressive, wants them to play fast, but those are no talent issues. Those are mistakes you got to squeeze out.
Turns into 1st and 5 now. You see 114 a year ago, and accepted penalties was SMU, and Madonna might have been a busted play, coach. Had nowhere to run on the 1st and 5 play and was taken down pretty quick.
I think what they did, Wes, there was they ran a read zone play, and he misread it.
Yeah. He
pulled the ball, and the defensive end he was reading tackled him. He's reading the defensive end right there, right, and he misread him. You know, I'm sure what happened, it was a slow play where the defensive end shuffles down and makes him feel like, hey, pull the ball. He pulls the ball, bam, he's back up the field and he tackles him. Sometimes you got to get used to the speed of the game, and that'll be another problem tonight for East Texas.
KJ Schenkel has come in. He is one of the 3 running backs. We saw Oakman to start, and Schenkel gets the carry this time, trying to lean on that left side of the Lions offensive line. No gain on the play. Cam Robertson, senior from Plano, 29th game tonight here at SMU. Had 32 tackles a year ago. Dalzell's team, and now another 3rd down play.
Really good penetration on that last play. He ripped inside and beat the guard across his face inside. And it's tough to run the ball when you're playing on your own side of the line of scrimmage, and that's what happened there. They're going to have to get some movement up front.
Madonna to the gun. 3 receivers here to the near side. looking that way, now wants to run. Trying to beat the Mustangs to the point. He'll slide early, and I'm not sure he got to the first down. In fact, they're going to mark him maybe 2.5 yards short. It'll still be 4th down. Ahmaad Moses, the safety, one of the 2 talented safeties, along with Wacobia, out of the Mustang secondary, was there to make the play.
I'll tell you what was interesting on that play. The defensive end, he got himself too far up the field. I believe it was Cam Robertson, and he lost contain by rushing deeper than the heels of the quarterback, and he got out of that pocket real fast.
Yamir Knight will wait on the punt. A freshman, Ben Meehan, who was on Cincinnati's roster a year ago but didn't play. And Knight will call for and make the fair catch inside the 10. Meehan did a nice job. Pins the Mustangs inside their own 10 with a 37-yard punt. SMU's already on the board. Only took 3 snaps for Romello Brinson to do the somersault into the end zone. TJ Harden is coming in the backfield. Boy, we're going to see some guys tonight for the Mustangs. And here is the UCLA transfer, Harden, on the first carry. You talk about having different backs now. Well, Steve, you coach different backs. Rhett Lashley's got a bag of riches in the backfield. I mean, you got speed guys and McFall and Johnson, and then you've got this guy at 220 pounds in Harden. And what does he do? He opens up the field so you can sling it to a freshman. That's Jalen Cooper's first career catch as a Mustang, and it's a first down on a 13-yard pass.
Yeah, it's a bust in the coverage right there, and they sure capitalized on it.
Here's a throw again. This is Cooper trying to get free. Look at him. Patiently wait, and he'll drive it toward a first down near the 40-yard line. This possession started back at the 9, and in 2 snaps, they've moved it 30 yards.
Well, they're taking advantage of numbers right now. That's the relief throws they have, and they're making some real hay, getting the ball to the perimeter.
And again, this is Harden. He'll fight toward the 45. That's enough for the first down. Levon Williams, talented free safety from San Antonio, wears number 2 for the Lions, down to make the stop.
That's that counter play that they love, and that's a gap scheme we talked about a little bit on Thursday night, where they double team play side and they pull a guard and pull a backside tackle or tight end, and they ream the hole with them.
There's a quick throw. Boy, what a hit that was against Hibner, the tight end. Javon Gillespie, the safety, or the corner rather, made the hit.
They're just running a simple little counter on that last play. And you're going to see it right here. He holds the A-gap real well. What a nice job blocking.
There's a flag thrown on the run here. And that's Chris Johnson Jr. across midfield, but I don't believe it's going to stand. Center judge offered the flag as soon as the ball was handed.
Holding. Offense, number 54. 10-yard penalty. Replay second down.
Savion Byrd, the left tackle, called for the hold. Don't forget tonight, the Atlantic Coast Conference and ACC Network combining to let you hear the communication on reviewed plays tonight. The Game Day Operations Center in Uptown Charlotte, the ACC office, in collaboration with the replay official and the on-field referee tonight, John Noley.
Well, that was a little bit of a strange call. I didn't see the holding in that. I don't think Rhett Lashley saw it either. He was a little animated.
Jennings flush to his right. Looks upfield, and he'll step out of bounds. The pressure provided by Patrick Brown Jr. and Preston Hamilton.
Yeah, he got beat in the A-gap, the center, and flushed the quarterback, and Jennings had to get on his horse and get out of bounds.
And now we have a stoppage of play. And referee Noley having a discussion with the umpire. TJ Harden has come into the ball game as the running back.
There's no foul for illegal substitution. Third down.
So it is 3rd down. 3-man front for the Lions, you see, and they drop 8 here. Jennings trying to fire it across the middle, and he got taken down as he let it go. It was not called incomplete, it was called a fumble. And now East Texas has come up with the game's first turnover. The pressure from Devontae Keys. Kevin Jennings, it looked like a pass attempt. We're going to have another glance at this. Clint Dawzell's ready to put his offense on the field.
Yeah, I think this is a throw right here. Absolutely, I think that's a throw.
Yep.
Now, P.J. Williams on the right tackle, got pushed back a little and then got ripped inside, and that's what caused the pressure on Kevin Jennings.
John Noli is talking to his group. Well, his hand was impacted, but his arm clearly went forward. Jennings trying to.
Rolling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. 1st down, Lions.
Now remember, there's still expedited review here in the ACC as well. And as of yet, so I think we're going to see a review here.
The previous play of a fumble.
Sometimes they try to expedite through it. So there's our look at the Game Day Operations Center in Charlotte, the ACC headquarters, and here we are.
Ball in the hand, right? Ball is coming forward at that point. He hits the quarterback's arm.
I'm at the headset.
I've got a hand coming forward, Mark, to make that incomplete.
I agree.
Hey, can you hear me, Bill?
Yeah, John, are you there?
I can barely hear you.
Okay, look at, do you see my screen with the quarterback number 7?
Yes, sir, I can hear you now.
We've got the ball coming back in his arm. He's coming now forward with it in his hand. He has control in his hand. The defender hits his arm, and that's what knocks it out. But the hand has been coming forward. We're going to be reversing this to an incomplete pass.
Okay, incomplete pass.
Incomplete pass and restart play. That's not working. Let me get my restart play button.
It's going to be 2nd down?
My restart play's not working here. Hang on.
So, hold on.
All right.
We're good. So when we restart this, we're going to come back to the minus 35-yard line.
Minus 35.
And we're going to come up with 3rd down.
3rd down.
And 20.
And 20. 3rd and 20. 35. What position? Ball position?
Excuse me.
Okay, let me get that.
Wait. This was 3rd.
Okay, it's ball position 5.
Ball position 5.
It was 3rd and 20 at the minus 35.
So it's going to be 4th down.
4th and 20.
It's going to be 4th and 20. 35 position
minus 35.
5.
Position
Correct.
5.
And we're going to have a dead clock.
And dead clock.
Okay. We good?
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, thanks to the Atlantic Coast Conference for the unbelievable access we're going to get here with this on Saturday night,
After further
Steve.
review, it was an incomplete pass. It'll be 4th down, SMU.
Pretty clean evaluation, it felt like, right?
That was super cool.
Yeah.
If I'm at home right now and I got a chance to listen to that right there, I'm like, wow, that's cool. All the little dynamics people don't understand. Where's the ball? What's the position? What hash? Really great stuff. I hope the fans appreciate that.
So here is the punt. So Nick Johnson is deep to receive. And the punt is away, and this is the first time we have seen Wade McSparran, the Aussie, who punts it, and pretty good rugby style kick you might expect from a former Aussie rules player. And that will roll dead in. Who's starting at quarterback tonight for the Lions. Quick throw on the perimeter, open, trying to make something happen, and runs into some red shirts. Terry Webb, the big defensive lineman, and Mayazano, the middle linebacker, were out there to make the play. Terry Webb, tell you what, big fella at 313 from Galveston, moves pretty good.
Yeah, he sure does. They brought a pressure from the field that time. They're rock and rolling those safeties right now. They brought the safety down to the field, and they brought them, and then they stunted the front opposite of him. So they're creating a 5-man rush front, trying to stop the run.
Yeah, Scott Simons, the defensive coordinator at SMU, has got everything in the bag tonight. He's showing great restraint at times, he said. There's a throw offline, headed for Jourdain, their top receiver. It'll be 3rd down now and 13 very quickly for Will Madonna. I enjoyed our visit with Scott Simons yesterday. I think he's as talented a young defensive coordinator as the game's got, Steve.
You're dead on, Wes. Scott's a sharp guy. He's got a lot of presence. He's got experience, and I enjoyed meeting him as well. It was a great football talk.
Yeah.
He's a riser in the business. He's got a bright future ahead of him.
So here is Madonna now on 3rd down and 13 for East Texas A&M. Enrollment right around 10,000. Not that long a ride from Commerce. They've got a nice turnout here tonight at Ford Stadium in Dallas. Madonna trying to go middle screen, and it's almost intercepted. It's deflected. Kilgore. It's a touchdown if all this stands. My goodness. Cam Robertson almost had it. He volleyballed it around, and the next thing you know, Alexander Kilgore from Katy, Texas is standing in the end zone.
They're just trying to run a simple screen to the tailback. You'll see the tailback release right here. It says tailback screen. What a play by Cam Robinson. And he flex it. Look how athletic. I mean, so much athleticism right there. They scoop it. Wow. Kilgore on that recovery. But Cam, what a play by Cam Robertson.
Looked like the ball kicked off Kilgore's foot, and then he caught it.
He did. That's what happened. Wow.
How about that play?
You don't see that a lot on a screen.
So Oakman has it. The ball comes out.
Boom.
It kicks. It hits the foot of Kilgore.
The previous play is under review.
Now the only way it can be overturned is if the ball in any angle hits the ground. It hit the top of the shoe. Unbelievable. So let's join again the Game Day Operations Center.
Okay, John, here's what we got. We had the ball tipped, but it was never possessed by Red here, but the ball never hits the ground.
I thought it hit the shoe.
Well, it hits the shoe.
Going.
And goes up. And it's possessed then by Red.
Make sure we clear him getting into the end zone as well.
Yep. Ruling.
And he does get the ball across the goal line. I wish I had one more view of that ball bouncing off the foot. Let me just double check that, make sure.
I checked all the
Look and see.
That's the only. Here we go, Mark. Here we go, Mark. Right here.
Yep.
That is clearly up.
I
Okay.
agree.
We are going to clear the score after review. The ruling on the field of the touchdown is upheld.
Perfect.
It's upheld.
Thank you.
After review, the ruling of a touchdown is upheld.
So it's a pick 6 for Alexander Kilgore. And as he steps into the end zone, oh boy.
Oh boy.
Vanderbilt and Virginia Tech. Hokies play tomorrow, and this is Caden Taylor coming back up the field here for the Lions. And they will be out near the 20-yard line for their 3rd possession. But injuries are unfortunately becoming an early story here for Rhett Lashley. Jordan Hudson hurt on the first snap. You see the left arm hanging there. And then a moment ago, Kilgore looked like a left knee injury. And he was taken to the tent, and as Dana told you going to the commercial, then to the locker room was Alexander Kilgore. So we'll keep an eye on those. And that's the tough part for Rhett Lashley tonight.
It sure is. You know, you don't want to lose 2 of your best players, and certainly in your opener before you even get going in the season. But let's keep our fingers crossed and hope that they're both going to be okay.
Yep. KJ Schenkel will be the running back here for the Lions, who start from their own 17-yard line, trailing 2 scores now. Just explosives by SMU on offense, and certainly one here on defense. And Madonna going to keep it near side, and boy, he got shoved out of bounds. And that was Zakai Barker making the play. That was the leading tackler a year ago for the East Carolina Pirates. This linebacker from Norcross, Georgia. He played 20 games in Greenville, 160 tackles, 13.5 loss. He has been a big-time add to the defense here in Dallas. And the Lions run it ahead on 2nd down. And getting off the bottom of the stack is Barker again.
They're running a couple of different styles of runs. You know, they're running the influence read zone play, and I can talk about that when we have a minute here. And they also running an insert zone like an ISO play they just ran in the last play. Mixing it up a little, trying to cut the defense. It's an interesting concept. I'd love to draw it for you if I get a chance.
So you got 3 to the field and 1 in the boundary here with Madonna. And Clint Dalzell's team trying to pick up this 3rd down. Near side, right in front of the Mustang bench. And incomplete. They were trying to get Odidi, and William Nettles was there in coverage. Redshirt freshman corner from Mesquite. Pretty good play.
On defense, it's interesting. They're walking the backer up, occupying the center, creating one-on-one matchups for the defensive ends, and playing one high behind it, leaving the corners on an island. SMU is choosing to defend it that way. They trust their corners.
So here's young Meehan to punt it away. Remember, his first one pinned the Mustangs inside the 10. Ymir Knight to return the punt for SMU. And it's shanked off the foot of Meehan. And it's going to be out of bounds, I think, in plus territory for SMU. Nope, they're going to mark it at the 45-yard line. And the SMU bench thought it was further up the field, but that's where it stands. And if you're Clint Dalzell, Steve, what are you thinking here? You got to, I mean, it's not gone your way at all here, well, offensively or defensively.
No, and they've got to play a series of defense here and get off the field 3 and out and try to create some momentum. They're struggling on offense right now. They can't run the football, and on defense, they really can't stop the run.
Here's the first down give. Derek McFall coming here to the near side, and a flag gets thrown from behind the play. Tremar Gilbert shoved him out of bounds.
Offense number 54. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Second one of the night on Savion Byrd.
Yeah, they're calling those really, really close. They're going to have to keep their hands inside. There's the hold they're calling on the left tackle. He's got his right hand on the shoulder pad. That's a legitimate call. He got his hands. He had to keep them inside the framework. He put them outside one of them, and that's how they get you.
Yeah, the left end, Chikari was bottled up, and that time McFall got hit, and pretty good. Kyrie Anderson, the linebacker, 87 tackles a year ago, 6 behind the line. That's Gilbert, the safety who made also a play here. So now all of a sudden, second and very long after the penalty, they're going to throw inside, and this is Romello Brinson up near the 45, which is the original line of scrimmage. Caleb Miles stuck a hand in. And Clint Dalzell told us the other day in our visit that, you know, as you start to kind of put this team together and challenge for FCS and the Southland Conference this year, you got to not only kind of pay attention to guys you can get in the portal, but also you're just going to have to admit you're young in certain spots, and you get beyond the front line on both defensive units and you start to see how young they are, especially on offense. Here's Harden into the ball game now to join Jennings for 3rd down. Kevin looking for a spot. He got it knocked away. Now that might be loose. King raked it out of there, and the ball is loose, and the Lions say they have it. SMU, who only had 12 fumbles a year ago, may have coughed it up here on their 3rd possession.
They walk both backers up, and they created an all-up look.
And they on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. First down, East Texas.
And the ball, as you get a look at it here,
yeah,
Kobe Sebastian King knocked it out before the arm, I think, built momentum to go forward.
You see how they walked the backers up right there, and one bailed and one came, and the center got occupied by the one that bailed, and they let the other linebacker, inside linebacker, came free, King, and that's how the pressure happened. They fooled the protection by walking all the defenders up. What you have to do on offense in that situation is the offensive line has got to set back vertically deep and sort it out.
So the ball spotted at SMU's 39 for the Lions. So plus territory start for Will Madonna. The play fake. Wants to throw it to the backside, and it's caught in stride. That is Oatman, the running back. He'll spin away and score. I think they're going to call him out of bounds here, or is it a touchdown? I saw an official. It's now a touchdown is called. 39 yards. Will Madonna to E.J. Oatman.
Wow.
Another look.
Yeah, it looks like.
So.
Yeah, he looks like he stepped in the white paint.
Yep. And so the white paint starts inside the 20-yard line. Let's go down to John Nolan.
Ruling on the field is a touchdown.
Okay.
Correct. So now.
So we're going back to where his foot was out over here. So that is the 16-yard line.
So that first one right there. We have it at that's at the 16.
Yeah, that's the 16. Now, Mark, look at this.
So this one, I can't be able to see on that if that's out yet. I know he definitely went out at the 10. I'm just trying to determine whether or not he went out earlier than that.
That one doesn't help us there. That's the one that.
That one is so close, I can't determine if it went out at the 16 based off of that shot. But if we keep moving.
That's the. That one is from a different angle that I don't know that may be all toe.
So we're going to go to the next one. Keep following him. Keep following the player. Keep going.
Okay, here we go.
That player, he is definitely out.
That foot is out at the 10-yard line?
Correct. So we're going to reset this, and we're going to overturn the ruling on the
Overturn the ruling. Stepped out at the 10.
Correct.
So we're going to have first and goal at the 10-yard line.
Correct.
Position 5.
Position 5.
First and goal at the 10. Position 5. Clock on the ready.
Clock's on the ready. All right, I got it. Thank you.
Okay.
After further review, the receiver stepped out of bounds at the 10-yard line. It'll be second down.
I want to say after 3 of these, I really like the teamwork that's gone on in this.
I love the teamwork.
This
it's going to be first down, right? The correction. This was a great play concept. It's what we call a special. They faked the reverse. They pulled the left guard to draw eye candy to everybody up front. And then they slipped the back out the back door. They cleared it with the wide receiver, and the back ran a wheel route, and he was completely uncovered. We should draw that because that's really a great-looking play, and that's what he's going to have to do here to create explosives. We used to call it a little trickeration.
Oatman will stay in the ball game as the running back with Madonna. And here's Madonna to his right, going to loop it for the end zone. That's way offline on the first play from the 10. Okay, Coach, get on the board here for us.
Real quick right now, the back's going to hide here. We're going to get a fake reverse. We're going to clear it here. He's going to come across, and the back is going to slip and run the wheel route. Let her roll.
Wow.
Isn't that beautiful right there? Well done, well designed. Need more of that type of thing.
Second and goal at the 10 after Madonna missed on the throw. And now we've got a timeout taken by SMU.
They're first of the half.
So the Mustangs are going to burn one here with just under 2 minutes to go opening period. Champion 2 times, Clint Dalzell is drawn up. Shackle is the running back. Here's Madonna in the pocket. Now pressure around him. To his left, backtracking. Mustangs give chase. He's going to throw back and incomplete. Nettles was there defensively and Proctor, the intended receiver. But man, Cam Robertson was on a mission.
He gets shot out of a cannon and gets pushes the tackle, but it's really inside where the pressure came by Jeffrey Emba, and that's when you saw Madonna try to step up. He got ricocheted back out, and that's when the whole thing fell apart.
22-yard try for Oslo Rigby, transfer from Pasadena Community College, whose kick is away and no good. So the 22-yard try from Rigby is pulled to the left, and the Lions miss a first and goal opportunity.
Well, there's going to be penetration inside here right now, and that may have caused to grab the kicker's eyes a little bit here. I think that's what happened. But really, two schools of thought here. You know, one school of thought is, hey, we're on the road, we're the underdog, let's take another crack at the end zone, we're inside the 5. Or maybe you try to get your points, and that's what they thought. But unfortunately, neither happened.
SMU takes over at its own 20. Don't forget, after the ball game tonight, ACC Huddle final score, complete wrap-up of the entire day in the conference. One of tonight's star players from our game will join Kelsey Riggs, Bryce Love, Mark Richt, Tom Luganbill, and more. And that's after our game right here on ACC Network. First down, and this is Harden trying to get to the perimeter. He gets 5 before he is shoved out of bounds. By the way, how great is it to have Dave Clawson in studio, Bryce Love, the former Stanford running back, with Coach Rick, and also Tom Luganbill joining Kelsey tonight on final score. 2nd and 5. Minute and change to go, quarter 1 here in Dallas. Jennings, a rope throw here to Brinson at the near side. Flag is thrown on the play as Brinson steps out of bounds at what I think would be a first down against Josh Wiggins, sophomore corner from Spring, Texas, who transferred from Liberty.
That's just a little relief throw right there. You know, that was going to be a called run, but he saw a soft corner, wanted to pop it out there and see if he could get a one-on-one matchup.
John Noley.
Ineligible receiver downfield, offense, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Wow. And I think Rhett Lashley is not exactly enamored here. Let's see what we have here, Coach.
Yeah, I can tell you what you have here. You've got the receiver down to the boundary who caught the ball here.
Yep.
Romello, he was off the line of scrimmage.
And Joshua Bates, the center, went 5 yards, which also can draw the flag too, right? Here's the give to Harden, and look at L.J. Harden work here to the near side, and he will spin forward and fall forward for the first down.
Really good effort on this run.
So with under a half minute to go, Mustangs quickly get on the line here with 1st and 10 right at the 30-yard line after the carry by Harden. Quick snap, Jennings looks. Brinson another catch. He'll step out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Wiggins, who signed with Colorado and then ended up at Liberty and now playing here in Commerce, Texas.
Well, they're given a lot of cushion. They respect the speed of these SMU receivers, and the protection was really, really good, and it was a clean pocket, beautiful throw. And SMU, that's their bread and butter. That's what they're great at, that.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense on the bench, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Wow. Wow. So overhyped.
Well,
Adazio may have had some teams overhyped. Here's a throw, and R.J. Maryland's first catch of the year. How about that sight for you?
Nice. Give him a little chance to get back after that injury, get a live snap.
You betcha. What a terrific talent this young guy is. Got hurt last year midway through the season out at Stanford. Look at the sidearm gun from Jennings. And Maryland crashes across the 25 for another SMU first down before Gilbert brings him to the turf.
Yeah, this is that RPO where they're going to throw that quick bang post right there. Nicely done.
Look at this. Coming out like a shortstop.
Yeah. Good arm angle. Avoiding the defender, defensive line.
Couple of catches by Maryland gets him started here. Now Jennings to work. He'll hand the ball inside, and look at Johnson. Make 2 miss. Chris Johnson, touchdown.
Woo! Little wiggle right there, man. Look at that, huh? That was something. That's quickness right there. Stick your foot in the ground, change direction. That's all those little ladder drills. That was really.
6 plays, 80 yards, 2-minute drive here, Coach.
They're just going to take him and run him on a little wider zone concept, and he's going to go whoop, whoop, whoop.
So Chris Johnson Jr. in the end zone. And the point after from Rogers is good, and it is 21-0. And we're not a minute old in this second period in Dallas tonight. And Chris Johnson Jr., who Rhett Lashley said yesterday, we got 2 guys that are fast.
Well, I'll tell you what, Wes, I don't know about overhyped, but right there they got blocked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta have some gap control here. And then, the ability in open space like that. Wow.
So the 22-yard run for Johnson. And just 6 plays. And the second offensive score of the night for the Mustangs. And Rhett Lashley looking at the Apple iPad. You see the 6-play drive, 80 yards, and Johnson, you feel good for him too, because a guy who originally played at Miami now is listed as a redshirt sophomore. He had 16 games and only 17 carries, and just never felt like he got any rhythm. And he comes here, and last year they got Bashard Smith. They've got McFall is kind of the backup. They got L.J. Johnson, who's now transferred to Cal because of the opportunity to play certainly for the Golden Bears, who, by the way, play later tonight against Oregon State in Corvallis to open their campaign, Steve. And now it's Chris Johnson's opportunity, and he's doing it with somebody who he knew from where he originally signed at Miami.
And he looks good.
Yeah, he does. And they are nice at running back.
They have depth. They've got big backs, smaller, quick backs. Nice.
So off the 25, here comes East Texas, and you heard their head coach just tell Dana we need to calm down and see if we can make some plays. And they brought Ja'Shawn McMillan, senior from Mobile, into the ball game now with Will Madonna, the quarterback. And a nice catch by Jourdain. Couldn't hang on, though, all the way through, incomplete. And that was Marcellus Barnes Jr. on the play, a transfer from Syracuse who was injured kind of at the midway point a year ago in Fran Brown's first season after an 11-tackle, 3 breakup stat line.
Now they ran that Mike Backer right through. No one picked him up. The back had to try to pick him up. It looked like a green dog, which is a delay read blitz by the linebacker.
So 2nd down and 10. It stays off the Lions 25. Looping throw, looking downfield again, and that time they overthrow Christian Jourdain. A year ago, Jourdain, he had 7 games with 4 or more catches. He had 51 on the year, almost 700 yards and a half dozen touchdowns. He had 18 catches and 3 scores in their last 4 games. And it was the last 4 games where East Texas A&M felt like they built some momentum, that if they were given full eligibility at FCS this year, they felt pretty good about where they might be in kind of the rank and file of the Southland Conference. 3rd down now for Madonna. And a flag has been thrown.
False start. Offense number 13. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
And that is Diane Bilbo from Van Cleve, Mississippi.
Just, that drives you a little crazy, right? You're a receiver out there, just look at the ball, But one thing I will say to you is they were on the line of scrimmage for a long time right there. Usually it's the lineman that jumps when they wait too long to snap the ball.
Yeah.
But when a receiver does, you're like, can you just watch the ball?
You know what I've learned here in our first week together? Those are no talent penalties, right?
You got it, baby.
Yeah, is that right?
I like that. You're a quick learner.
No talent. That's right. Here's another flag thrown as the snap is, and this might be delay.
Delay of game. Offense, 5-yard penalty.
Okay.
3rd down.
Now let's get things clear here. These are the ones that used to drive you crazy.
Yeah.
Right here, the unforced stuff.
Right.
The stuff you can control on every snap of the ball. Right. I haven't seen a coach yet who's happy about any of this, right?
No talent. And that means it doesn't take talent to stop those. It takes focus and concentration. So we can do that. Let's do it.
Yeah. Well, it's cost the Lions now to make it 3rd and 20. Ball thrown in the middle of the field, and that's Tyler Daniels who hauls it in. Just across the 20, brought down well short of the first down. And that is another 3 and out for the SMU defense. That is their 3rd in 5 possessions here, Steve, including the interception by Kilgore.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards in penalties and get way behind the chains and think you're going to have any productivity. You got to stay on schedule. It's your only real hope when you're outmanned a little bit.
You see the numbers for Ben Meehan. His first one was pretty good. Mustangs had 8 on the line. They drop a couple off, and this is a wobbly kick. Ymir Knight will back up to the 25 and see if he can clear the first level, and he does. He'll spin to the 40. Knight with flags down. 45, 50. Look at this. 35, 30. Ymir Knight is going to score. He's got an escort to the end zone, and we'll see if it stands. It's a 76-yard return of a 52-yard punt. We've got an injured East Texas A&M player around the 37-yard line at the other end of the field. And John Noli and his crew sorting things out on the markers.
I didn't see that penalty. I'll tell you what I'm excited about, though, Wes. I'm excited about we saw a punt return. I'm seeing so much this season in the beginning of the year. Guys aren't fielding punts.
During the return, holding, receiving team, number 16. 10-yard penalty. First down, SMU.
Yeah. We got to get that done.
Yeah, we're getting it done up here in the booth. People are, getting their hands in right now. Here's the 1st and 10, and Hibner out in space, taken down by Sinky Williams. The transfer from Austin Peay, who's from Southlake. Now Jennings hit as he throws and dumps it here to the near side. Up to midfield. And that was Goffney, the wide receiver.
They're going to run the weak side backer ran through. The center turned in protection to his right, and he lost vision on the linebacker. He blitzed through and got the pressure.
On 1st down, McFall the carry. Dylan Goffney, who caught the ball a moment ago, he is a 5th-year player from Cypress, Texas. And McFall, we have seen McFall, Johnson, Harden tonight. We did not think we were going to see Dromico Green, Chunky, as he's called. They were going to let him rest tonight. He kind of got dinged up a little bit as TJ Harden picks up a couple yards here. Clock continuing to run inside right around 11.5 minutes to go in this first half.
Boy, they have some diversity in their run game. They just ran an influence trap. They've run read zones. They've run counters. They've run powers. Now they run an influence trap, which means the guard stands up, goes outside, and then the other guard pulls and traps the defensive tackle.
Here's a 3rd down play, and Jennings going to evade the punt. Look at this. Up the field, 1st down and more, and he'll take a slide shy of the 30-yard line. Williams again, the safety, up to make the play. Terrific. Just read and react by Kevin Jennings here, Steve.
Yeah, look how smart he is right here. Get down. You got it. We don't need to lose Kevin Jennings. Don't need to take any hits. Move the chains, get the next call.
Chris Johnson Jr. back to the ball game. Jennings 148 yards on 10 of 12 here in this first half, by the way. He's been particularly sharp throwing the ball. And now he'll hand to Johnson again. Look at the elusiveness of Chris Johnson Jr. down to the 26-yard line. That's a gain of 6 on 1st down. King, the linebacker, the stop. Remember, he forced the fumble on Jennings earlier in the half. He's a senior from Houston. He transferred from West Texas A&M. There's another quick throw, and this is Brinson back to work. He started the fireworks tonight on the 3rd snap.
Arena, so it's an exciting time for the university as a whole.
I know you spent significant time at Florida State. How about those Seminoles? Are you happy? I know you got your master's there.
I did. 11 years there. It was a special time. Got my master's from there. Excited to go back next week and again be back on the ACC network showcasing East Texas A&M.
Speaking of showcasing your team, your football team, what does playing a top 25 team in SMU not just do for your football program, but the rest of the sports at East Texas A&M?
Yeah, I appreciate you asking that because I do get that question from time to time. And the one thing I tell our folks is, one, it's such a great opportunity to showcase our student athletes, our program, and the university as a whole. But also, two, you've got to play in games like this before you can win games like this. And so it's really important in terms of how we build and how we project for the future that we get opportunities like this. And so we're grateful for schools like SMU and FSU for putting us on the schedule and opportunities to be showcased on the ACC network as well.
Toughest question you'll answer all night. Who are you going to root for next week in week 2?
Oh, Lions all the way.
Good answer. Thank you for the time.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Oh, you bet. Thank you, Dana. Thanks, Jim Curry. Familiar face to the ACC for better than a decade in Tallahassee. And you see Derek McFall push the third down play into 1st and goal now for SMU. And really respect the work that he's done in just not quite 2 years. There's a throw to the end zone. It's intercepted. That is picked off by Caleb Miles on Kevins Jennings' first interception and the second Mustang turnover of the night here, Coach.
Yeah, you know, the receiver needed to stick that more vertically and then snap it off. He sort of didn't stick it. What that means is freeze that DB, and the DB undercut it and made the pick. And that's a shame because while Dana had her interview, there was a lot of good football mixed in by SMU, and there was a beautiful little drive right there. To end that way is a shame.
Caleb Miles, the interception. And for Miles, who's a first-year player after spending last season at Navarro Junior College, a young man from Prosper, Texas, comes away with the interception. And Ja'Shawn McMillan and is the running back, and East Texas A&M starts at its 20, and Eric Rodriguez has come in at quarterback now. So Will Madonna started the night, and now here is Rodriguez, who a year ago was 59% on the season, threw a touchdown, 3 interceptions, and 246 yards. As you see Will Madonna over on the Lions bench. Here is 2nd and long after a loss of 3. They're going to hand the ball, and this is Williams breaking, or McMillan breaking free. Ja'Shawn McMillan out to midfield before he gets taken down by the safety Moses. So McMillan comes in, the big 225-pound senior from Mobile, Alabama, coach, for 32 yards.
Yeah, he did a nice job, but the guy who made that play was Preston Kilgore, number 81. He inserted on that zone play and isolated the linebacker, and there was a big hole to run right through for that play. It was well blocked. Probably one of the better run plays for East Texas A&M.
Longest play of the night for the Lions on offense. So here's Rodriguez on 1st down, retreats, wants to throw, going to loop it up in the air, and it's caught inbounds, and out of bounds goes Randy Reese, an SMU transfer who went to the same high school as Kevins Jennings.
Nice little crossing route right there, a little man coverage beater, and he ran across the field and made a nice throw and catch.
Yep, 10 yards and a 1st down to the 41 of SMU. Rodriguez cuts it loose again, near side grab. And that's Jaden Proctor. A marker is down on the play, back at midfield. And so John Noley, the referee, with 2 flags down. Play was marked out at the 28.
We're going half. Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense number 1. The penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal. Automatic 1st down.
Isaiah Smith, the defensive end.
He comes off the corner right here and he hits him in the back of the knees. They're going to protect the quarterback. That's a rough shot right there. That can really hurt a young guy, and you know, that's the right call.
So the penalty will move the ball just inside the 15-yard line in SMU territory here for East Texas.
little drive here for East Texas. They put together a few plays, a couple of good runs, a couple of good throws. They got, you know, they collected a penalty right there. They got a little something going here.
Yeah, the McMillan run really has kind of sparked them. 3 receivers to the field. Here's Rodriguez on his opening possession. To his right. Now wants to run, and he'll dive forward inside the 12. So it'll be a run of about 2 and change. William Woo Spencer made the tackle for the Mustangs. Transfer from Louisville.
Lost contain on that. You know, Cam Robertson lost a little bit of contain. He tried to recover late, but he was not in balance, which allowed Eric to put his foot in the ground.
So 2nd down it is. 8 to go off the 12. And they try and run the ball straight ahead. That's Oakman. And so 3rd down will be coming up. And Rhett Lashley tonight, he's got 3 turnovers in the ball game. 7 penalties tonight against his club in this first half.
And those were 2 things they talked about: turnovers, win the turnover battle, and penalties. So those are going to be things he's going to be able to really, you know, coach hard on tomorrow in the meeting, saying, you know, that's got to get better in the first few weeks, how to correct those things.
Here is Rodriguez in traffic now, puts it up for grabs. He got deflected as it came out of his hand, and that was Medlock. Justin Medlock, senior linebacker from Missouri City. And East Texas now 1 of 7 tonight on 3rd down, and they're going to try another field goal. Remember, Rigby missed earlier from 22.
DJ Warner came in that time. That's the young bandit defensive end that they think is their best pass rusher, and he beat the right tackle and created that. It was nice to see.
29-yard try for Rigby. And tried to run it right inside the right upright and did. So East Texas A&M's on the board. 5:20 to play now in this first half. 18-point lead for first ever meeting with East Texas A&M. Members of the Southland Conference here tonight in Dallas, who made the 70-yard trek from Commerce to Big D tonight. And they'll kick it away here, and there'll be no return.
Syracuse days.
I was getting ready to say, those were the ones that actually had the PTSD set in, right? Penalty on the Lions on the kick. You heard that announced by John Noley. And on 1st down, you get a look at Link Rhodes. We thought we might get into some of these guys tonight. He's a junior from Stockton, California. Transfer from San Joaquin Delta Junior College. Here's Jennings loading up and offline on the throw there. That was Carterius Brown, a true freshman, who was the intended target. Let's give you a little quick update here on the Saturday in week 1. To 7, the number put up there today, and another ball downfield in the neighborhood of Brown, but we got flags everywhere. The Tony Elliott, the Chandler Morris debut, Steve, in Charlottesville. Goodness.
Outside, defense number 92, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Micah Owens is the big D-tack. 3rd down, and they tried to get the crossing route fit. Jennings was looking for Ymir Knight, and Kyrie Anderson, the linebacker, got a hand in there to make it 4th down. And Rhett Lashley's kind of what for at the SMU bench. He thought there was a pass interference on Anderson.
There was. He hooked him. He got him around the hip and hooked him. I mean, that's what happened. He got away with one.
So a turnover and a punt.
Yeah, I'm with you, Rhett. I'm with you. There it is. He hooked him. You're right.
Here's the punt from McSparran, and a fair catch called for by Nick Johnson. And now a flag has been thrown in behind that.
Kick
with
interference.
4:37 to go.
Yeah, kick interference. Another mental mistake there, resulting in a penalty.
So Clint Dawzell looks on here at the flag. And boy, Rhett Lashley's fired up.
And the officials are discussing it. Maybe they're not all in agreement here, but you got to give him that little area to catch the ball. And I think he might have touched the returner.
So here is John Noley.
Kick catch interference. Kick catch interference. Kicking team. Number 29. 15-yard penalty. First down.
So the penalty.
I mean, it's a penalty.
Maizano, the guilty guy. And we were showing you Clint Dalzell a moment ago. Played at East Texas and then 2 times the winner of the Arena Bowl. He spent 13 years in the arena game, the 50-yard indoor war, Steve. He won 2 championships with the Philadelphia Soul, and he quarterbacked Grand Rapids to the title against Nashville in Arena Bowl 15. And here's Rodriguez. He gets flipped over on the first down play. By the way, looking back at the Arena Bowl 15 game, that championship game was on ABC. They beat the Nashville Cats, and Brent Musburger and Gary Danielson did the game on ABC. The Arena Bowl.
I mean, you just took that right out like
I looked it up. I looked that one up.
I couldn't have remembered everything you said if I looked it up 10 minutes ago. Holy moly, man. You got a gift.
Second down and short with 4 minutes to play. East Texas 2nd and 3 here. There's a throw, incomplete. On the near side, they were trying to get it to Daniels. LaModrick Spencer was over there in coverage. He's a guy that is the half-brother of Roderick Daniels, who was a big contributor to the success of SMU a year ago on the offensive side of the ball. So 3rd down and 3 with 3:53 to play. Still an 18-point lead for the Mustangs. Rodriguez in relief of Will McDonough. His second possession. Wants to throw, in trouble, and there's Webb to make the play. The big man, Terry Webb. He moves really well for a guy his size too, Coach.
He sure does. They're really have some great get off and running around the edges and beating these tackles. But if you notice what they're doing, they're walking that backer up in the gap, covering the center so they can get these one-on-one pass rush matches. That's what's going on. They want to get one-on-one. They don't want them to have the ability to slide on offense to protect, but make them block one-on-one, and that's a good plan.
So Meehan will punt it away. Ymir Knight waits, and that almost got blocked. And Knight will signal for and make the fair catch right around the 22-yard line. So it's a 40-yard punt by Ben Meehan. And 2 timeouts remaining for both schools here, with SMU having the ball right around the 21-yard line here with Kevin Jennings, who 13 of 18 for 164, but he's got a fumble and an interception tonight in this first half. And the 7th possession for the Mustangs begins at their 21-yard line. We saw those games go across the top of the screen. We still got 3 more ACC games to go. Tomorrow, 2 of them. Virginia Tech, South Carolina, and Atlanta. And then tomorrow night, Miami and Notre Dame at the Hard Rock. And then Monday night in Chapel Hill is TCU, Carolina.
Those are some really great games for everybody to watch and enjoy. In fact, I think I'm looking forward to getting home, and I'm going to watch every one of them sitting in my recliner.
Okay.
And just digging college football.
Yeah, it's been a terrific opening weekend for the sport. And with 3 minutes to go, Kevin Jennings ready to go to work. And flip it here to the near side. And looked like coming around the corner was Knight. So Ymir Knight loses some ground. And Bill Belichick, 6-time Super Bowl champion, 333 regular season and playoff wins as an NFL head coach, and his college debut comes Monday night on ESPN. And there is Johnson getting back to the line, maybe almost the original line of scrimmage. Anthony Gray, the tackle. Bill Belichick's college experience is limited to right around 3 to 4 weeks as a GA for Lou Holtz in the mid-70s. And he was in Raleigh, and then Lou Holtz took the Jets job, so he was out of a job. Lou Holtz left NC State to go to New York to coach the Jets for 1 year. And Belichick said he had taken his GA job, and then all of a sudden Lou left to go to the Jets, and he ended up going to Baltimore to work for the Colts. It's just like an add-on, quality control guy, what we probably refer to him now. And that was his only other college experience. Ironically, he was at NC State for a month or less with Lou Holtz.
I did not know that story.
Yeah.
That's a great story. Everybody's got to start somewhere.
That's your first job?
I started at Western Connecticut State University with Paul Pasqualoni, and he taught us how to coach.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's amazing kind of how the journeys go in this world. But for Bill Belichick, Steve, I mean, when you start thinking about just the way his career has worked, right? I mean, 6 Super Bowls, the whole bit.
Yeah, he is a guy that I have so much respect for. His knowledge of the game. He can coach everybody on the football field.
Yeah.
And he is really a special guy, and I'm sure he's going to have great success.
Yeah, interesting to watch him go through, I think, this first college orientation, though, right?
Yeah, I think it's going to be an adjustment, but I think he's going to have a great experience and do really well.
Here's Jennings to his left. He'll turn upfield. Kevin's got the first down and out toward the 35 with 2 minutes to go, and that'll get us to a timeout here in Dallas. Here's Jennings. Shoots it over. Brinson the catch. What a terrific first half for Romello Brinson. Not only the long touchdown catch on the 3rd snap of the game, but boy, he's come back strong. 5 and 102 yards for Brinson in this first half.
He's on fire.
Yep, playing great. Jennings under duress. Tried to shoot it sidearm, center of the field. Threw it right by Yamir Knight. But, you know, Romello Brinson, and it goes back, Dana, the fact he was off injured a year ago, never quite got into sync in terms of the receivers that Rhett Lashley could count on. And you felt like yesterday when he talked about Brinson, he was proud of him for sticking to it a little bit. And I think he's got a chance if the Hudson injury is long term, that is something that I think this SMU team can build on, is what he's done here tonight in his season debut.
Well, you often hear when athletes go through an injury and they recover, they come back stronger than ever. But Rhett Lashley was really complimentary of the entire receiver room, and that really starts with Kevin Jennings.
Yeah, I thought Casey Woods talking about his demeanor changing after the college football playoff game. Here's Jennings. That line held because they thought they might have been able to draw a flag. They did not. Jennings is finally brought down by Owens, some 15 yards behind the line.
Timeout, East Texas. Their final timeout of the half. It'll be 30 seconds.
So the play is going to stand. Now, Steve, they held because they thought there was a penalty, right?
They hold because they think they have a free play. The center just snaps the ball when he feels the guy came into the neutral zone. You practice that all the time, and that kind of looks like what happened. So you take your free play. Now, every once in a while you do that. You don't get the call, and the whole thing looks like foolish. Like, what did I just see? But that's something you practice.
Well, did you see anybody jump? I saw 92 just lower his knee a little bit, right?
Yeah, I don't think he came across the neutral zone, and
no,
that's an error on the center, anticipating it, and you know, that happens when you practice that play. That's a practice play, and you know, sometimes you get it, and sometimes that happens and you don't.
I suspect that that's going to be a note Rhett Lashley may share with Dana going to the locker room here in a minute too, is the unforced stuff in this first half.
The very thing he hoped that was going to be less this year.
Right. It's not been the case in the first half.
No, it has not.
8 penalties, 84 yards, 2 turnovers. And now on 4th down, East Texas used the timeout. They're out here in the final minute. McSparrow hangs one high. Johnson makes the fair catch inside the 20. This Wade McSparran, the punter, is from Geelong in Victoria province of Australia. His dad was a Aussie rules coach, and he himself is a former Aussie rules player, to the point of 218 games and 150 goals in Australian rules football for Wade McSparran. And he and you know, we move through college football enough, you start to hear about these guys that were students of the Pro Kick Australia program. Well, he is another one.
Yeah, you know they got some toughness to them too. Well, it's not for the faint of heart.
No, at Aussie rules, you got to be ready to go. They don't wear pads. Here is Rodriguez. That ball got batted at the line of scrimmage, incomplete with 46 seconds to go. That's DJ Warner who came slashing in there.
Yeah, they're high on him. They think his future is going to be the sky's the limit. You know, they say he's got great twitch, really can burst off the ball, and you saw that there. He accelerated up the field and was able to get in that throwing lane.
Yeah, 6'4", 231, transfer from Kansas. Played 12 games for the Jayhawks. The term skilled pass rusher was used yesterday to describe DJ Warner. Here's the quick hitter with Oakman, and Terry Webb wraps him up with 38 seconds to go in this first half. Don't forget Kelsey Riggs Cuff, Tom Luganbill, Bryce Love coming up at the break. They'll recap what we know about today in the ACC. Clemson LSU winding down in the fourth quarter tonight at Frank Howard Field. And of course, Florida State's got a huge win.
I'll tell you, Terry Webb is really playing number 4 on defense at SMU.
Yeah.
He is just destroying blocks, ripping off the blocks, and making plays.
Third down, 5 to go. Quick throw, and whistle stops the play.
Oh, they'll address it and they'll get it right.
What did you like in the first half from them, though?
You know, I like on defense. I like the way they're playing on defense. I like on offense. They have big play capability. They can create explosives. And I think the quarterback at times has done a great job.
Well, East Texas has got the ball at its 25, and let's visit with Dana Boyle.
Well, some of those unforced errors, like you mentioned, Steve, by SMU have made East Texas A&M optimistic. I spoke with Quint Dalzell out of the half, and he said the body language of his team is exactly where he wants it to be. They still have belief. He said easier said than done, but they got to take care of the football. Defense needs to bend, not break, and they got to get in the end zone.
Yeah.
That's right on the money, Dana. And you know, you breathe life into a team when you make too many mistakes and they hang around, and that's never good.
So Eric Rodriguez returns. Will Madonna started the ball game. Ron Peace did not dress tonight for the Lions, their the other quarterback who we thought we might see. And Eric Rodriguez has come in here, and on the first snap has a completion. There's Jordan Hudson. He was injured tonight on the first snap, and he's come out in the warm-ups with his arm in a sling. So we're going to hope that's not bad. And Coach Lashley told Dana going to the locker room, we hope that's not a season-long situation. Alexander Kilgore was still being evaluated at the half. I would suspect there's more information to be shared, if not tonight, certainly in the coming days, ahead of Baylor's visit here next Saturday at 11 a.m. Central Time in Dallas. There's a long throw on second down. Rodriguez dials it up across the field to Jaden Proctor from Mexico, Texas. He had 26 catches last year. That's his second tonight here for the Lions. 15-yarder there.
Eric Rodriguez has made some plays now with his feet and with his arm. He's got a little juice to him.
Well, remember, they were in a bit of a scramble. We were talking about their last 2 games against FBS. Here's the first down throw down the seam, and that is caught in traffic. Jourdain the grab at the 34 and took a huge shot from Moses, the safety. Look at this.
Now this is a switch route on both sides, and it ends up in, you know, it's basically 4 verticals, but both receivers on each side switch their route. It's called a switch route.
So vertical route. First and 10. They're going to hand the ball to the big back. And that is Oakman. Here's another look defensively as on this catch by Jourdain, and the work Ahmaad Moses had at safety.
Yeah, he certainly put a big hit down, but he had a lot of field to cover. It's tough in one high to stop that 4 verticals.
And here's Rodriguez. Little mesh play. He'll keep it, and I still think it's probably going to be short of the first down as Zakai Barker makes the tackle on Rodriguez, who lost his helmet. So that'll bring Will Madonna back on the field. He started the ball game, and Rodriguez will have to come off the field for at least one snap here, and it's 3rd and short.
This is exactly what East Texas A&M needed to do to start the second half. Create a nice drive, build some confidence, and try to create some momentum.
So there's an injury, and it looks to be, this is Billy Thursland, the center, who's being taken care of right around the 20-yard line here. And Thursland's going to have to be helped from the field here, and I don't know that that's a cramp or if there's some sort of injury to go with it beyond that. And this brings up one of the things, Steve, we were talking about earlier today, the youth and inexperience, or lack thereof, proven guys in depth. Here's Alex Kilgore, by the way, who was also shaken up in the first half. Junior from Katy, Texas, who had the interception for the touchdown, and he's on crutches here. Looks like there may be a boot involved on his left foot. But let's see how the third, and we're talking about Madonna will have to take the snap here, and he's going to have a new battery operation because looks like Chandler Donaway. Is he going to be the center, or is it going to be 52? No, they're going to move Donaway from guard to center.
Which, you know, now you got a new center snapping the ball.
Yep, and here's the give inside, and that is Drinkard slashing forward for what is the first down. And Madonna's going to go out, and back comes Rodriguez.
Yeah, well, they got a new set of downs. They're in the high red zone right now with an opportunity to get some points. They got to continue to put together and finish this drive.
And here's kind of the confidence that Clint Dalzell was talking to Dana about, right?
Yeah, I mean,
said he liked where they were. I bet so. They've taken the opening kick of the second half, and 1st and 10 outside the red zone at the 22 of SMU, and that is Lou Spencer making the tackle on Hyman Drinkard.
He just beat the right guard and got into the offensive backfield like he shot right out of a cannon.
Second straight carry for Drinkard. And now it'll be 2nd down and 12 with 3.5 gone in the 3rd quarter. This was East Texas' best quarter of the year a season ago. They scored 30% of their points in the 3rd period. Here's the 2nd down play. Rodriguez wants to throw, shoots it across the middle. Jourdain was the intended receiver at the 7-yard line, incomplete. Rodriguez not happy with himself. Steve, to your point about Rodriguez a year ago at San Diego State, which was a pretty close ball game at the break, he came in and went 14 of 20 for 105 yards, a touchdown, and interception. So the stage will not be too big here for Eric Rodriguez, and if he were to put a touchdown on the board, they'd feel a whole lot better about themselves.
You could just tell with his demeanor on the field, this is not too big for him. He looks like quite a competitor, and he's got some quickness and he's got some arm strength.
Here's the play fake. Rodriguez, middle of the field, inside the numbers at the 10. Catch made by Odidi, 6'4" senior from Mansfield, Texas, and that's 1st and goal now for East Texas A&M.
They're playing cover 3 on defense, which means, you know, they're playing a third, and, you know, East Texas is finding the holes in the zone. Eric Rodriguez is doing a good job of finding those receivers that are filling in the voids of that zone.
Yep. This will be the longest drive of the night for the Lions. This is the 10th play, and it's 1st and goal at the 8 of SMU. They're going to hand the ball, and Oatman got tackled up around the shoulder pads. He's come into play left guard after Donaway moved over to replace the center Thursland. Here's Rodriguez trying to find it. It's intercepted. It is picked off, and this is Moses. Ahmaad Moses is going to take one to the house of 95 yards. How about that? The Lions were on the doorstep of perhaps their first touchdown of the night, and Ahmaad Moses saved the day for the Mustangs. Special delivery of the football.
I tell you, that was a I'd like to say that was the fault of the quarterback, but the receiver, Jaden Proctor, should have worked back outside. He brought his route back into the safety, and the safety was sitting right in the hole and poached it and picked the ball off for a touchdown. And that's a shame. If he had just whipped back out underneath that corner route, it would have been a touchdown for East Texas State.
Second interception return for a score tonight. Kilgore off the deflection. Ahmaad Moses runs through downtown for one now. Miami, Notre Dame tomorrow night. Then on Monday, they'll be in Chapel Hill. Cedric Riggs Cuff, Jimbo, and Mark Rick all there. Drinkard, the return of the kick out to the 24. That's where East Texas will go after Ahmaad Moses' heroic, Steve.
You see right now that last play, that pick six, you're going to watch Proctor work his route right here, okay? And you're going to watch what's going to happen here is he's going to bring himself back into the safety that's going to poach as opposed to staying out there with width. And that created that. Had he stayed out there, Ahmaad Moses never would have been able to make that pick, but Proctor brought himself right back to him. So that's probably not having enough time together with the quarterback and the receiver.
Fourth longest interception return in SMU's long football history, too. 95-yard pick six for Ahmaad Moses, who had 3 of them a year ago, including a 60-yarder against TCU, and that ball was momentarily caught by Tanner Harrison, but raked out by Isaiah Wacobia. Oh, Harrison never really had it before Wacobia banged it away.
Really, again, a good job by Eric Rodriguez in finding the throwing window. That should have been a secured catch.
So second down and 10. And they're going to run the ball straight ahead. And that is KJ Schenkel who gets wrapped up. It'll be third down and about 4 for the first down. Well, we showed you Dazio's dudes now before the game. Let's see, every Saturday night, Steve's going to identify guys that personify a dude. These two are delivering for you tonight, aren't they?
I mean, they're making plays, whether they're tackles, interceptions, breakups. Those are 2 of the better safeties in the conference.
Yep, and we got a marker. All right, now, for folks who are dialing us up.
False start. Offense number 52.
You became
penalty. Third down.
You became known at BC for declaring you just wanted guys to be dudes, right?
Yeah.
So what are the characteristics you're looking for in a dude?
You just got it. You know, you're a dude. You got it. You're tough. And you make plays, you're elite. That's a dude.
That's a dude.
And a real dude is tough as you know what, man.
Okay.
I mean,
so we're talking like
we're absolutely talking about
Dana tough.
Well, Dana would be a dudette.
A dudette. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, she was unbelievable. What a player. And she's unbelievable right now.
I like that you use my vernacular, elite. I think I'm rubbing off on you.
Third down.
So unforced error on the Lions here, and that does not make Clint Dalzell happy at the East Texas A&M bench. Yeah, Ahmaad Moses handling a little treatment of his own there on the bench, I noticed. Now that's what dudes do too, right? Take care of their own treatment. Throw by Rodriguez, that almost got picked, and that would have been Wacobia. by the way, who's playing in his 42nd game tonight, is Isaiah Wachovia, who's from Skyline here in Dallas. You know, we spent some time around SMU a year ago in our coverage, and this is one guy that, tell you what, he's easy to like, he's easy to pull for, and what he means to this football team, you really can't even qualify. He touches, it feels like all the important pieces of what SMU is going to be.
Yeah, Wes, it's his leadership, and every year since 2009, the number 23 jersey that he's wearing is worn by a deserving SMU football student athlete. And guess what? He's worn it 3 years in a row.
The ball's going to bounce up in the air, and they're going to run off from it, will Yamir Knight. Well, and here they present the Jerry Levias jersey every year, and here's Rhett Lashley with this year's return to Wachovia.
You guys voted last night on who's going to wear 23. This is the biggest honor here at SMU. And I got to do some fact checking. It's either the first time ever or the second time ever. We have Zay. Where are you at? For the 3rd year in a row. Come on, Zay. Come up, change the jersey.
First and 10 at the 35. Here's a play fake. No, Jennings does hand it straight ahead. Derek McFall, he got me on the play fake, Dana.
Yeah, and that number 23 holds a significant, that dates back to 1996, guys, when Jerry Levias became the first black scholarship student athlete, not just at SMU, but the entire Southwest Conference. And when I spoke to Wachovia, he told me he gets a text every now and then from Jerry Levias, and he said it's still surreal when that contact pops up on his phone.
Yeah. Yeah, Jerry Levias' impact on this program and impact on the old Southwest Conference is remarkable. And there's the 23s across the season. Chris Banjo spent some time in the National Football League with 3 or 4 teams. Terrific player. He was the first one to be awarded Levias' 23. Quick throw there, and the catch made. Romello Brinson's night continues. It's already at a career high.
Well, I'll tell you, Zay Wachovia is going to play for a long time. He's got a bright future ahead. It's not going to end with college.
And that is a 4th and short. And is this Savion Byrd shaken up here? No. On the edge here, we've got an injured Mustang. And this is Zion Nelson. And the first down give. This will be Shankle working to the far side. He'll get to the 30, dive forward to the 26 before Wachovia makes a tackle. Let's join Dana with Damon Evans.
He's locked into the Jumbotron.
What's that?
Damon, I said you're locked into the Jumbotron. I understand why. Your ponies are playing well. You began your tenure in March. How would you describe the momentum with this SMU football program when you began as AD?
It's really been unbelievable to see what has transpired since I've come on board. But not just that, but prior with President Jay Hartzell coming on. You know, you got Andy Enfield leaving USC to come here. We got Adia Barnes. And then just to see what this team did last year, the first year in the ACC going undefeated. So things are really good right now.
How would you describe the leadership you've seen from Rhett Lashley and the entire coaching staff?
I think we have some of the most talented coaches in the country. It's amazing. When you think about Rhett, you got to think about culture. He has an unbelievable culture, and culture leads to outcomes. And when I look across the board, the talent that we have at our coaches, coaching level, from Sam Erger to Andy Enfield to Adia Barnes to Huddy, the list goes on and on.
That's quite the list of names. You've been down on the field with me for most of this game. How would you assess the play of the Mustangs?
You know, we started off really fast. You know, first game of the year, see some jitters out there. We're playing well. I think we can score some more points, but I'm excited about what I see. I think we have a really good football team. We're a complete team on both sides of the ball and special teams.
That was nice athleticism there. You still got some footwork, huh?
Yeah, we had to get out of the way. When you're about to get run over, you move quick.
Good stuff. We appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, by the way, tell him he's still got some of those moves he made when he played at Georgia.
Wes wants me to tell you that you still got some of your moves when you played at Georgia. I think he's just being nice.
Hey, you know what? They're still there. Every once in a while. I'm quicker than a hiccup.
That's great. I'm going to steal that.
Oh,
we appreciate you.
Thanks, guys.
Terrific player for the Bulldogs in his day. And there's the play. And they get the ball inside the 5 on 1st and goal. And that was Proctor. And Maizano Maizona made the tackle for SMU, and now you see some guys get turned over here, substitutions both ways. And the player hurt is Jaden Proctor. And it looks like a cramp. Boy, it's a hot, humid night, Steve. A lot hotter and a lot more humid than I think they thought. But we had rain in the Metroplex this morning that was, man, it was constant for about 4.5 hours. There were flash flood watches and warnings throughout the metropolitan Dallas-Fort Worth area. So the humidity has stayed here tonight, and that has drained despite the good work these guys do in August under the heat. I'm sure here in Texas, that still drained these guys a lot, and the fluids have been a premium tonight. The electrolytes and the waters and so forth to keep these guys going.
I think, you see game one, the combination of the time of year it is in the heat coupled with the anxiety of opening day jitters and all that goes into it, and you have a tendency to see a lot of this.
So 4 minutes and a moving clock here, and back on the doorstep of the Mustang end zone is Eric Rodriguez.
East Texas State has settled into running this power read play that they've ran now several times on this drive. They're having a lot of success with it.
They're going to hand the ball to Oakman, and he got stood up quick. There's Webb again. Boy, Terry Webb has made his presence felt here tonight, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he really defeated the block here of the right guard, ripped off him and made a great tackle.
Yeah. Brett Lashley shared with us just a young man from Galveston who's playing with a bit of a heavy heart. He lost his mom recently and will be in Galveston later this week for memorial service to honor her. And he has played very inspired tonight, clearly.
Really sad, really hard thing for anybody to have to go through. He's a young guy, and it's quite an emotional deal.
Yep. Here's Rodriguez backtracking. Oh, ball's out, and it is scrambled around, and it is recovered. And I think Isaiah Smith has recovered the fumble. He has the third turnover of the night on East Texas A&M.
First down, SMU.
Cam Robertson, I think, knocks this out, and Smith recovers it.
Cam Robertson just runs by the left tackle. I mean, he just runs right by him and makes this play.
Timeout here in Dallas, and then volleyball follows that. Washington and SMU. There's Jennings on first down, and R.J. Maryland the catch. He'll move up field to the 30. That'll create another first down. By the way, the Sturdy Cavaliers in women's soccer, we got our own Sturdy Cavalier here. Look on the right, Steve. Ball thrown out of bounds. Look who doesn't even move. Nope, held her ground the whole way.
Athlete.
Dude, well, she doesn't flinch.
Athlete.
Yeah, because I still do my agility ladders, guys. Come on.
Romello Brinson, by the way, the catch, Steve.
Again.
Right. So, athlete, right? You're going to go with that? Athlete is the declaration she's offered you tonight?
Dana's a baller.
Thank you, Steve.
She's a baller.
I'm waiting for Wes to give me some kind of credit. I've only worked with him for a few years.
Yeah, you're great. You know that. There's the ball incomplete on the way to Brinson. You held your ground. We got video evidence. You took a half step but did not move off the point.
For the love of the game.
I used to say Tebow would stand in the pocket. He'd stare a bear down coming at him.
Right.
That's Dana.
Is that
was coming right at her.
That's a great comp.
Yeah, she come right at her. She just stood right there and didn't flinch and was ready. Hey, whatever. She's not worried about it.
Brinson now 7 catches for 121. And going to the far side is Harden, and a nice play by Levon Williams. You know, Jack Tyler is the defensive coordinator at East Texas A&M. He played his football in Blacksburg for the Hokies. And he was a bad dude. And he talked about Levon Williams, and I thought to myself, you know what? I bet Jack Tyler sees a little of himself in the way Williams' run pursuit goes. There's Jack. Boy, he had some good players when he got his coaching career started. He had Dax Hollifield and some of those guys, Steve.
He looks like a tough guy.
Oh, yeah. I told you he was a bad dude in Blacksburg. Here's Jennings bailing the pocket, now looking. He's going to float it down the field. That's going to be pass interference, and it's on Levon Williams, who we just spoke of and handed out some accolades to. And he basically was blocking the intended receiver, who I think was Jalen Cooper on the play.
Pretty headsy play by Kevin Jennings.
Final 2 minutes of the third. Jennings is 18 of 25. He's over 200 yards. Here's John Noley, our referee tonight.
Holding, defense number 31, 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Orion Kupu, who transferred in from Independence Community College. Look here.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah,
He's got a hold of him.
That's a hole grab.
Wow.
That's 2 hands.
Yeah, that's not being bashful there.
They're going to throw the flag every time. 1st and 10 from midfield. And very patient running by Chris Johnson Jr. will get him 10 and a first down.
Yeah. Offensive line got tremendous movement on that play. Really nice job. They ran a simple inside zone and got a first down.
Jennings will hand again to Johnson, trying to wind to the outside. And Chikari, Tito Chikari, who transferred over from Prairie View, started his college career at Fresno. Made the stop. He's from Houston. Now they get it to Ymir Knight, and an open field tackle there by Williams. So Cinque Williams, the tackle, back after 42. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play. Yeah, Baylor will be here next Saturday. And then in 2 weeks, SMU goes on the road to Missouri State and then to TCU on the 20th. And they begin conference play October 4th against Syracuse after a bye. Here is Jennings trying to spin one down the field, does. And that is Cooper, the freshman, making the grab. He had 60 catches, 1,200 yards a year ago as a high school senior. And Rhett Lashley and his staff put together a terrific recruiting class out of high school ranks and then fortified again with the portal, which has kind of been their methodology. Cooper was one of the more highly thought of guys in the class.
They have 42 new players, 20 transfers, 22 freshmen.
Here's a 4th and short. Jennings going to hand straight ahead, and that is Harden banging away. And if he broke the 30, it's enough for the first down. Steve, we're seeing all sorts of chemistry projects as it relates to players, right? And the way you take the high school, you handle the portal, things like that. Everything's a little different at every school. But it feels like they've got great balance here, and it's working for them in a very positive way.
I think you have to do what they're doing here. You got to develop young players while you be selective in the portal with fill needs.
Yeah, that's a. The Mustangs start 2nd down, and here's Jennings to throw, and the ball is caught, and that is Carterius Brown, the grab. Another guy who they're excited about, a freshman from Monroe, Louisiana, standing on a 6'2" frame at 190 pounds. And it's 1st and 10 inside the 20 around the 18. And here goes Harden leaning at the 10. He's got another first down as he's torched toward the 6, maybe the 7-yard line before he got shoved out of bounds by Williams, the safety. 11-yard run for Harden.
You know what I love about Harden? The play before, they brought a safety blitz from the field. He stepped up and stoned them unselfishly.
Yeah.
On the very next play, he gets the ball and has a great run.
Yep, here he goes again. Nope, that's Jennings. He's going to keep it and walk into the end zone. So Kevins Jennings on the read play scores on the ground for the first time. He's thrown for 1 and now has scored. He had 5 rushing scores a year ago. And he's got 1 here to start 2025 tonight.
I think that little talk that Rhett Lashley had with his team on the sideline during that timeout had a little inspiration going there. They played those last few plays with a little juice. Yep. It looked a little different.
13 play, 81-yard drive, and 4:21. And Jennings scoring on a 7-yard run, and another look at Kevins Jennings.
He's going to read that defensive end. He pulled the ball, and he's taking a walk into the end zone. Really well executed. No one even near him.
Yep. And Rodriguez, and we got a marker thrown on the first snap here with about a minute gone. And the
start. Offense number 66. 5-yard penalty. First down.
And the penalty will be on Kendall Sepps, transfer from Houston Christian, first year in Commerce with the Lions. 10th penalty of the night on East Texas, 75 yards. I do have one ACC historical tie, Steve, I want to share with you.
I want to hear about the
Encyclopedia,
Lions.
Wes.
I want to hear it.
Here is Rodriguez back across the middle, Oakman to catch. Boy, took a big shot. Maizano tried to lay the wood on big E.J. Oakman. Finally, Brandon Booker made the tackle. So with about a minute gone. So in kind of digging in on East Texas, you know who their most famous football alum is? By the way, Steve, East Texas A&M.
Is it? No, I don't.
No one knows but you.
No. A lot of people know. Now, come on. McMillan, by the way, has come in here on second down. And now Rodriguez going to try and see if he can't pick it up with his legs to the near side, reach the ball out as he crossed the 35, and they're going to measure him to 34. I don't know that he got the first down.
Yeah, I think he's
might be short, might be 3rd and 1. The most famous football alum at East Texas is Wade Wilson.
Wow.
Who played in the NFL for many years, Minnesota and among others. Terrific quarterback. They have got a proud football tradition. There's their program timeline. 1972 NAIA national champs, 2017 Division II national champs. Here's the 3rd and short with Rodriguez. And I don't know that McMillan got there.
I think he's short.
Yep. Going to be 4th down here. But East Texas really began to ascend in football when James Gilliam G became the president in Commerce. Now, you say to yourself, what's James Gilliam G got to do with this tonight? James Gilliam G was a all-conference offensive lineman at Clemson in the early 1900s. 1917, he was an all-conference offensive lineman, and he was the president at East Texas for 18 years. And at that time, he said,
Timeout,
I want to be good in football.
Their first of the half.
An alum, San Antonio, Texas, who played a year ago at the IMG Academy in Florida, Steve, and it looks like this young man's going to get a chance to come in and spin the rock a little bit, huh?
Yeah, it's valuable work. It's great work. And this is how you develop that young group. You never know when you're going to need them.
4th and about maybe a half foot here for the Lions. And they're going to hand it to McMillan. Boy, he took a big lick, but I think will spin forward for the first. And he will have it.
Yeah. That he really slammed it up in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
I love to see. I love watching when a running back just slams it up in there. It's just nice. You know what I mean? It's like. Whew.
Yep. Spears, by the way, was in there for the hit. Here we go. So McMillan did break the 35. And the clock continuing to move here in the early stages of the 4th, in the first meeting ever between SMU and East Texas A&M. Here is Rodriguez in trouble, able to elude the first rush and then throw back across, but it was incomplete. Looking for Randy Reese, who is an SMU transfer, by the way. Was a part of this Mustang program a year ago, did not play. He went to South Oak Cliff, which was the same high school as Kevins Jennings, and is getting an opportunity to contribute at East Texas now. Ahmaad Moses still out there.
Yeah, there's you know, I don't know about all that. I think it's time to let the young guys play a little bit.
Also have Justin Medlock in the ball game. Oakman is in as the running back. There's a flag thrown, and tell you what, it looked like Medlock got chopped down.
Offense number 1, 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Penalty on the perimeter against the aforementioned Randy Reese.
It's hard to understand those penalties by the wide receivers.
Clint Dalzell. It's been a tough night penalty-wise, really, for both schools, but 11 now on the Lions. And to the perimeter they go with Oakland, and an open field tackle. Maizano, another stop, the junior linebacker from Frisco.
That was a heck of a play by Maizano.
Yep.
I mean, he accelerated and made a great open field tackle.
Yeah, pretty sure-handed tackler.
Good work for him too, you know. You know, he and Booker, those are two future guys here they're high on, and this is great repetitions for him.
Yep. 23rd career game tonight for Maizano. Who was a special teams guy last year in a big way. Ended up with 15 tackles. Had a sack and also 3 behind the line.
That's the best way to me to develop as a young player is on special teams. Valuable work you get there. That's where you learn your trade.
Rodriguez sails it well offline, trying to get it to Odidi. William Nettles was in coverage for SMU. Well, we saw clips of Baylor and Auburn last night, so the Bears will be here next Saturday at 11 a.m. Steve. By the way, a little late coffee, a little brunch action with Baylor and SMU here. That'll be a big ball game really for both those teams.
Yeah, no question. It's going to be a challenge for both of them, and you'll learn a lot more. It'll be a lot of, you see it grow each week. You come out of that game, and the team that wins that game is got a chance to really gain momentum.
The left-footed punter Meehan. He'll drive it away, and here is Ymir Knight on the run again. He'll get it back across midfield before he is brought down. That's where SMU will start in plus territory for Hawkins. Time for tonight's dynamic play of the game, brought to you by T. Rowe Price. Ahmaad Moses, take over. "95 yards. 4th longest interception return in Mustang history tonight for the senior from Arlington. And Kevin Jennings is coming back in the ballgame. Wow. We saw Hawkins warming up.
Yeah.
There's Ahmaad Moses.
I'm a little surprised right now to see this, to be honest with you.
And here is Jennings going to hand it off. And Derek McFall races through. Garnett, the linebacker, tripped him up. Oh, SMU going to go a little tempo here with 10 minutes to go. And McFall one more time tried to get started on a track behind an offensive lineman, but it was Chikari who made the tackle. Nate Anderson, a transfer from Oklahoma, was the guy that got stood up on the line McFall was trying to run on. 3rd down and 12. Here goes Jennings, and now he's going to throw, and that's caught. Wide open is Jalen Cooper for the touchdown. So Kevin Jennings throws for his 2nd touchdown of the night with 9:34 to go. Now accounting for 3 scores. And this is Jalen Cooper, the freshman, on the back end.
He's just running what we would call a triple option. He has a read capability, a run capability, or a throw capability. He came off running, and he threw it down the field and executed the triple option really, really well.
3 plays, 47 yards. 2nd time tonight they have scored inside of 2 minutes, and they've had a 3rd drive that was 2:01. And it's now 41-3. Colin, he also picked Ohio State and Florida State to both win today. In fact, all of his former schools won today. Indiana, Louisville, Florida State, all victorious, where he was the head coach. And by the way, behind the SMU bench here with 9 to go, Kevin Jennings is taking care of some young fans. His night over. With a 42-3 score.
I'd like to see Kevin turn around and get back with his teammates.
There's
plenty of time left on the clock, and we can do that when the game's over, right?
That's my point. I was going to say, if I'm Rhett Lashley and I see that, I don't know that I'd be so happy. I remember when I was a student athlete, and regardless of how far ahead we were in the score, we still had to be locked into the game.
Yep.
I know, Dana.
So there you go. Return to pin. Nice job there. So here is Eric Rodriguez to run the offense for East Texas tonight. He came in after Will Madonna started the ball game, and here is Drinkard, the running back. Hyman Drinkard picks up about 5 on the play to the 25 as we work our way toward the 9-minute mark. Well, East Texas A&M went 3-9 a year ago. Tonight's their first ever game against a Power 4 school. And
they get to go next week and
play another one.
Just Florida State.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing. Jim Curry was kind of laying out how all this happened. The SMU game had been on the books for a couple of years. And then all of a sudden, Florida State had a gap created by what else now? Some of the rearrangement of schedules, right?
Yeah.
And so when that happened, he made a call back to his old employer and said, hey, he used to handle some of the scheduling stuff with Mike Norvell and prior to that with Willie Taggart and so forth. And he said, hey, how about if I bring this? You need an FCS game.
Sure.
I'll plug in here, and that's exactly what's transpired.
And how about, by the way, maybe I get $1.5 million?
Yeah, I mean, you know how that works financially.
Yeah, I mean, it funds your program.
Yep. And of course, the Noles with just a huge statement today. All of that and more coming up on ACC Huddle Final Score. Here's a throw to the perimeter, and going down the field is they go to Matthews on the perimeter. Devin Matthews, a wide receiver, and that's a 44-yard throw to Matthews.
Here's the problem, Wes, with when you get in this situation where you're making a move to Division I and you start wanting to play these teams. The problem they run into is you play these big teams and you start losing guys. And the next thing you know, your conference is in jeopardy, your season. So yeah, it's a fine line.
Quick throw, Rodriguez again. That ball never was completely caught by Odidi. Paul Odidi is a terrific size physically, 6'4", 175, played at NAIA Southwest Assemblies. And he missed all of last year in Commerce when just a freak accident happened and he ruptured a spleen when he fell on top of the point of a football in a practice. And they were really counting on, look, from a size perspective, he's a problem at FCS.
Yeah, and he can run.
Yep. So Odidi was the intended receiver there on a 2nd and 10. And here's Rodriguez again with pressure mounting, and he eludes one. Now he's going to sail it for the end zone and overthrown.
I'll tell you, Eric Rodriguez is a nifty player, though. I think they found their guy here. You know, I think there's things that East Texas A&M can really walk away from this game and feel like they can, they can grow. If they can stay healthy, they're going to get better and better and better. But they have explosiveness, and they play hard.
Yep.
They're tough. They're physical. Those things you can see.
Yep. The non-negotiables for Clint Dalzell seem to be in pretty good shape. Now, some of the things probably frustrating tonight are the penalties, the turnovers, the missed opportunities, and the timing of some of the turnovers. And it feels like that both these schools are going to come out of here with some answers, but also some concerns headed into their Week 2 games as Rodriguez tucks and runs for about 8. It'll be 4th and 2. Tyron Polley, freshman from Duncanville, who had 4 interceptions a year ago as a senior in high school, makes the stop. I think Scott Simons and Rhett Lashley said they were going to play some of these young guys tonight, Steve, if they got the window, and here's the window.
This is the window. You just got to, when you're SMU right now, you hate to see, East Texas drive down the field and possibly score, but in the same breath, you just got to swallow hard and say, we've got to get these guys reps.
Yep.
They've got to get some game time, and it's going to help us down the road. Don't worry about the score. Worry about whether you're 1-0.
Timeout's going to be taken here.
It's Texas, their second of the half. It'll be 30 seconds.
So 30-second timeout for Clint Dalzell, Dana.
Well, from my observations on both sidelines, guys, these teams are gassed, and you can't really replicate game speed in practice. So, Steve, I'm curious from your perspective as a coach, how do you prepare them for the first game playing someone other than your scout team?
Yeah, I mean, I think
you don't usually condition during the season, but you have to condition in preseason camp to try to get him in shape. But I think what you can't measure, and you know, Dana, as an elite athlete, that what happens is those first games have so much anxiety built up that it just creates even more fatigue. And I think that's part of, you know, opening day.
Yeah.
And I also think young guys have to learn how to hydrate, how you have to work at your nutrition and your hydration. And sometimes this teaches them that lesson. So there's a lot that you draw from these opening days. But I think you got to condition them hard in training camp.
And I think you've seen the adrenaline sort of wear off in the second half, and that could be a reason why, too.
Yeah, no doubt.
So quick timeout. Here's 4th down now. They need a full 2, do the Lions, to keep this drive alive. And Rodriguez will throw. Ball is caught on the perimeter, and that's Preston Kilgore, the tight end, who got dumped to the ground, but it'll be 1st and 10. Don't forget, stay tuned after the ball game. ACC Huddle final score. Complete wrap-up of the entire day. Plus, one of tonight's star players will join Kelsey Riggs, Cuff, and crew. Follows our ball game right here tonight on ACC Network. And 2 more games tomorrow with ACC implications, and then the Labor Day night game featuring TCU and Carolina from Kenan Stadium in Chapel Hill. And we'll have ACC Huddle coverage pregame of both the Miami game tomorrow night and the Carolina game on Monday. Here is Rodriguez, a fumbled snap. Now he's just going to throw it. He was outside the tackle box and threw it beyond, obviously, the down marker. So everything will be okay, and it'll be 2nd down.
I was worried about linemen downfield on that play, you know, but I don't think anybody got too far down the field.
Yeah. That's Jaden Jones, 72. We have a little bit of a situation on the roster. And first time I've ever seen this. We have 2 guys named Jaden Jones. Jaden spelled differently for each. That Jaden Jones right there is a senior from Glendora, California. He's known as Citrus. The other Jaden Jones from Killeen is known as Jaden. And the reason that Jaden Jones is known as Citrus is because that's a junior college he transferred from. The throw is caught right around the 14-yard line. Jourdain, their leading receiver a year ago, still in the ball game and trying to help them maybe punch something into the end zone here in the final 5.5, Coach.
I'm telling you, locker rooms are funny. You know, they come up with stuff like that in the locker room. You know, guys are hilarious. They, you know, saying, you know, you played at Citrus JUCO, we'll go, you know, call you Citrus.
Right.
You know, and it's just that. I tell you, that's what's so fun about playing football and being in the locker room with the guys and the camaraderie and all the bantering back and forth. It's really hilarious.
3rd down here for Rodriguez. Back foot throw, slips it across. Another catch. That's Matthews. He'll haul it down, and it is enough for the 1st down. It's a goal-to-go situation now for East Texas A&M. Tyron Polley made the tackle on Devin Matthews. And now they'll bring E.J. Oakman into the lineup, the 200-pound back from Pflugerville, here with 4.5 to go. You also see Joshua Pickle, the 240-pound tight end, kind of in a wing to the left side here for the 1st and goal off the 8. And they're going to give it to Oakman, trying to get the corner turned, and Oakman is taken out of bounds. Polley again.
He's got some good burst, Oakman. He's a compact guy.
Coming right at you. So they'll mark it at the 2. Twelfth play of the drive now for East Texas A&M. Extra offensive lineman has come in. Rodriguez will hand. Here's Oakman fighting, and he get turned back at the 1. Brandon Booker was in there. Jeffrey Imba, number 6. He's 315 pounds. And here is 3rd and goal right around the 1-yard line, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, this is where you got it, to me, is an opportunity for both these teams to show some physical toughness and demeanor, and one team saying, can we make a yard, and the other team saying, no, we're going to knock you back.
And now we get a timeout taken by SMU.
First of the half, it'll be 30 seconds.
You saw Jeffrey Imba a moment ago. Rhett Lashley out of the timeout, 3rd and goal. Rodriguez wants to throw, now going to tuck and run, and he'll score. 1-yard run for Eric Rodriguez with 2:55 to play. It's a 13-play drive. And the first touchdown of the night for the Lions comes with 2:55 to play.
Just lost the edge of the defense here up front. Didn't contain and keep the quarterback in the pocket.
It took 6 minutes and 39 seconds off the clock. And now they will ask Oslo Rigby to add the point. And the kick is good. So 42-10. Dallas. Not necessarily clean, but fun. Late night, we're staying up. Spinning Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys, and away we go. Final 2:55. 42-10 SMU. The Mustangs will wait on Baylor to show up here next Saturday, 11 a.m. Central Time, noon start. That kick through the end zone, and here comes Ty Hawkins, who we falsely advertised earlier. Be win number 30 for Rhett Lashley. And there is Hawkins on the keep. He'll pick up the first down out to the 37. Tonight, Lashley will go to 30-12. 27 of those 30 wins, they have scored 30 or more points. They are now 27-2 when they score 30 or more in a game.
Well, I'll tell you, that's a lot of points, and that's a lot of consistency. And that speaks to the program that he's built.
This is also going to be their 7th consecutive season opening win. There is Hernandez.
29, Zach Hernandez will carry through.
Is in to complete this. Zach Hernandez is the running back, and he'll get the call here, and good hard run by Hernandez.
Zach Hernandez will carry through Mustangs.
Uh-oh, we got a ball loose and scramble for it. Now, see how this gets adjudicated. He was shy of the first down at the 46-yard line. Was Hernandez. Oh, it is a fumble. So it's ruled on the field to be a fumble.
On the field is a fumble recovered by the defense.
By the redshirt freshman from here in Dallas. Another look here. See if we end up under review. Oh, I can't tell there.
No, that angle doesn't give you anything.
Nope. Let's see what we have here. And ooh, that looked like that might have gotten jarred. Kyrie Anderson in there.
Yeah, that looked like the ball's out right there.
Sure did. Yeah, because he doesn't have it anywhere near his body, and he's on the ground. So Anderson banged it out of there with 1:41 to go. 3rd turnover tonight. Third turnover of the night on SMU gives plus territory possession for Rodriguez. And he throws it behind the intended receiver, Nick Johnson. Incomplete. Stops the clock with 1:39 to go. So, Steve, of all the things that have happened here in week 1 today, you got a highlight? I mean, obviously, Florida State looked terrific, right? I mean, the early score, it felt like Castellanos really juiced them up, but they got that touchdown early, right?
Yeah, I thought that that was a a little bit of a surprise. And he was tailor-made for the offense of Gus Malzahn.
Yeah.
And he lifted that team up. He created an unbelievable energy in that game. And it just looked to me like, at that point, even the defense, excuse me, played up.
Yeah, right. No, I think you're right about that. And the defense and Florida State, a lot about the ticker was talked about, the toughness factor of that football team at the end of last year. I thought they played as a tough team today. I thought they played tough against the team they had to play tough against.
Yeah, and my walk away from that game was they have a chance to have a real good year if they can keep that level of intensity and that level of play.
Yeah. Yep, you're right. Tell you the other thing, we saw that tonight, highlighted it. How about the access we gave folks tonight on reviews here in Dallas? Amazing.
I thought that was really cool.
Yep.
And as a fan, to be able to really look into what goes on and to hear it for yourself, and really, really a great thing for college football.
Yep. So I hope you enjoyed seeing some of that tonight in the first half. There's a throw down the seam. That's Matthews, another big catch. It'll be 1st and goal again for East Texas inside the 10-yard line. At the SMU 9 on another long grab by Devin Matthews. This one 31 yards. And I think he's just become their leading receiver. Yep, he's got 4 catches now in the ball game for 87.
And Rodriguez is throwing the ball well.
Yeah, I think you're right. Clint Dalzell's going to have to maybe look at who takes the first snap in Tallahassee next week.
I think you're looking at it.
Yep. Here's Rodriguez, left side, and threw it behind the intended receiver, and that was Jourdain. Rhett Lashley not happy about the plays being allowed here by some of his reserves.
Yeah, he's, you can tell that he's got a high level of irritation right now. He sees what we see, some things that, that need to be cleaned up with turnovers and penalties. And, it's as a head coach, he's looking big picture right now, further ahead.
Here's a 2nd down play for Rodriguez and the Lions. To his right. Going to loop it up toward the end zone and out of bounds. So that'll make it 3rd and goal with 28 seconds left.
I think at the end, though, like I always say, you got to enjoy the wins. Tonight, you pull them in, you say, hey, guys, we got some stuff to work on, but you did a great job winning a college football game. Half the teams in the country are going to be 0-1, and half are going to be 1-0, and we're 1-0. Now we're going to correct the issues we have. We'll get back to work tomorrow, watch the tape. I got to do a better job. Put it on yourself, put it on your staff,
right,
and then move forward.
Timeout, East Texas.
Let me ask you this.
Timeout of the half. It'll be 30 seconds.
Dana's going to talk to Rhett Lashley when we're done. I'll ask Dana, you allow me to ask this question to Steve here. Were you one of those coaches that subscribed to the theory that the biggest improvement during the regular season came between week 1 and week 2, or were you a coach who said the most improvement we had came after the first loss before the next game?
No, I believe that your improvement goes from week 1 to week 2.
Okay.
And I think as a coach and as a
I've heard more about it seemingly this year than others. Here's the 3rd and goal play for Rodriguez. From the pocket. Now he'll boot back. He's got to run if he can. Oh, and he got hammered from behind. Kevin Allen, the redshirt sophomore, makes the play. And the clock continues to run. East Texas A&M is out of timeouts, and they're going to bring Oslo Rigby on here, see if they can fire the field goal up there. Got to get lined up, see if they can get 13 points up. 2-1 snap spot. Kick by Rigby is up, and it is good on the final play of the game. Oslo Rigby kicks a field goal, and the final is SMU 42 and East Texas A&M 13.